Hey guys, it's Rick. I'm here with more reviews. We're going to finish out the month of July. It is still August 14th when I'm recording this. As mentioned in the last video, there's my new Guardians of the Galaxy 4K Mondo Steelbook. I also got rid of Hobbs and Shaw from like right there and put it up high because I feel like it didn't look right. So yeah, let's dive right into it. 6 movies to talk about. 5 of them were watched physically. I know as a physical movie fan, I've been watching a ton of stuff on streaming because that's the only way to watch a lot of the stuff, and I'm not going to buy bootleg copies of it. So anyway, 5 movies to talk about. First and foremost, let's talk about a childhood, nostalgic, emotional film for me. A movie I probably have not watched in had not watched in over 20 plus years, probably closer to 25 years, honestly. And was super excited when I found this was finally coming to Blu-ray again, because the twilight time of this movie is insanely expensive. I'm sure it'll drop in price a little bit. But Sony put out an MOD version of Bye Birdie, the 63 musical classic, starring Anne Margaret, Dick Van Dyke, Janet Leigh, Paul Lynde, Bobby Rydell. And why is this movie an emotional one? My grandmother, RJ, and I used to watch, not RJ. RJ never met my grandmother. My grandmother, my sister Nicole, and I used to watch this movie together all the time when I was a kid, when we were kids. And like I said, have not revisited this in such a long time. The Blu-ray came. Bridget liked this movie a lot too, and rewatched it. The movie is still so much fun. The character of Birdie reminds me very much of an Elvis character. The music in this movie is so good. I think I probably remembered 90% of the music in the movie. I remember certain parts of the movie before they were happening. It was very exciting to revisit it. Definitely a movie that was kind of like ingrained in my brain. One that holds up very well. The performances are all very good. Anne Margaret, Janet Leigh, and Dick Van Dyke especially. Like I said, very much reminiscent of a young Elvis is Conrad Birdie, but also future Conrad Birdie almost feels like Rex Manning to me from Empire Records. That's just me maybe, but the way he acted, especially towards women, I was like, man, he grows up to be Rex Manning, and they have a Rex Manning day at a record store for him. The age thing doesn't quite work out there, but it's a fun idea if you think of it. So the movie offers laughs, very fantastic music, and great dancing, and just is a really, really fun musical. I really, really love this. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. I highly recommend Bye Birdie if you've not seen it. If you love musicals, holds up very well in my opinion. Like I said, felt like a little kid again watching this, and it's just a very fun movie. The Blu-ray looks great as well. So Bye Birdie, available now on MOD Blu-ray. I got mine at Amazon, I think $22.99. So beats the $100+ that the Twilight Time was going for. So Bye Birdie, very cool. Next up was the only movie that I do not have physically here. So let's do a little shift for a second. Yeah. And the next movie we watched was the brand new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Old. So Old was a movie I was incredibly excited about. As soon as I saw the teaser for it on the Super Bowl this year, probably this year. Was it this year? Yeah, it had to have been this year. It wasn't last year. So I saw the teaser for it. I was really intrigued, excited about it. I think I've enjoyed probably 90% of the M. Night Shyamalan movies I've seen. There are definitely holes in his filmography I have not watched. I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying which big one I have not seen, but there's one of the big ones I've not seen. I enjoyed The Village. I enjoyed Signs. And then obviously his recent stuff I've actually really enjoyed. Split and Glass was good. Not great in my opinion, but it was good. And I really enjoyed The Visit, which was a film that I think didn't get enough buzz or appreciation. So was excited to check this one out. Pretty much 95% of the film takes place in a single location. As you can tell by the trailer, it takes place on a beach. So the movie kept me interested. I was intrigued throughout the runtime. There were a few parts that I kind of like did one of these watches, like where I wasn't really looking, because I don't watch like medical shows. And there's a particular scene in this movie especially that I could not watch. I was definitely like, just let me know when it's over. Just because I don't do Operation. I can't watch all that. I can't watch Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, it's just something I don't do well with. So the movie, this is going to be very tough about. I can't get into details too much, but the movie offers up a dilemma or a question or an idea that is a very intriguing and interesting one and makes me wonder. See, I can't even really talk about it because it's the idea it proposes makes you think, like, do you agree or disagree? And I'm tiptoeing around it. I'm just trying to stop it. I can't really get into detail. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a very well done film. There's overacting in parts and, whatnot, but I enjoyed the movie as a whole. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. Old, I would recommend if you're a fan of M. Night Shyamalan movies. Curious to watch it on a rewatch, because knowing how the movie ends, revisiting it with fresh eyes to kind of see how everything plays out. That's the one thing I will say about M. Night Shyamalan movies is they usually have good rewatchability, because once a movie's over, knowing where it goes, then you can rewatch. Like Get Out for me was even better on a first time revisit than watching it initially. Because, like, you're taking stuff in, but, like, revisiting a movie where you know something's going to happen makes you look at it from different vision. So, 3.5 out of 5 for Old. Can't really say much more. Although, by the time this comes out, it'll probably have been out for, like, a month. But I still don't want to spoil it for anybody who's waiting for it on Blu-ray and 4K. All right, I'm back here. The poster's gone. Bye, poster. See you later. And, the next thing I want to watch is a movie that was incredibly out of my comfort zone, but we were on a task to finish the Leonardo DiCaprio movie list. I've been trying to watch a majority of the Leonardo DiCaprio movies I hadn't seen that I wanted to see and revisit some, like we revisited Wolf of Wall Street, Basketball Diaries. So the next 3 movies all star Leonardo DiCaprio. The next 2 were the last 2 of his movies I wanted to watch that I'd never seen. Then we're going to do one that was a revisit. So the first one, like I said, out of my comfort zone was The Man in the Iron Mask. This being the Cool Shout Select release with different artwork. Love it. The movie features a great cast. I'll start out by saying that. Leo, Jeremy Irons, John Malkovich, Gerard Depardieu, Gabrielle Byrne, Peter Sarsgaard, and more. And to be honest about this movie, I was not very familiar with the story of the Man in the Iron Mask, or even very well versed in like the Three Musketeers. But I will also say I'm not a fan of period films, and I found myself kind of nodding off during this. Not saying it was a bad movie, but I just don't think this is my cup of tea personally, and it's tough to rate a movie like this when it's so far out of my comfort zone, because I appreciate it. The Blu-ray looks beautiful. The story had parts that were intriguing to me, but my girlfriend snapped me out of it as soon as she noticed I was nodding off, and I watched the rest. It's entertaining, but like I said, I give it the old college effort. Not something necessarily up my alley, so it's really tough to review something like this. I didn't sleep through the whole thing. I might have nodded off during like 5 or 7 minutes of it. But it just isn't a movie for me. I didn't like the Leo double role thing, but I know it's part of the story. So, Man in the Iron Mask, I gave it 2.5 out of 5. Like I said, give it the old college try. Not something for me. I know Bridget really enjoys this movie. And this is the Shot Select release. So, the next thing we watched, the last Leo movie I had never seen, and will never see again, is J. Edgar. So this is not going to make the shelf for me. Glad I watched it one time. So I've heard very mediocre things about it. Directed by Clint Eastwood. It does have my buddy Arnie Hammer in it, Armie Hammer, who I'm a big fan of. Josh Lucas, Judi Dench, Naomi Watts. It's about J. Edgar Hoover, who is the head of the FBI for almost 50 years. And very interesting looks at different things that he was involved with throughout his career. And definitely an interesting movie for a one-time watch. Does it have rewatchability? For me, definitely not. It's very slow-moving, lots of dialogue, but just not something I was a huge fan of. They also took some liberties with his life, from what I understand, after reading more about J. Edgar Hoover's life after watching this. So that kind of was a turnoff to me. It moves at a snail's pace. Not a lot of excitement going on in the film. So an interesting movie, but once again, not something I would ever necessarily watch again. Bridget was a trooper because she had seen it once and wasn't very excited about rewatching it, but we watched it. And like I said, this will not make the shelf. Leaving the collection. J. Edgar, 2.5 out of 5 for me. Interesting, but nothing special for me. Next up, probably one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio performances. An outstanding movie. I'm also going to will this. And what I mean by that is I said in my post for this movie, this is only on DVD. I know a lot of you guys reached out to me that there is a region free, I believe, Blu-ray or region B Blu-ray. It's advertised as region B, but I try not to buy outside the US titles. I would rather just have all uniform US titles. When you buy Blu-rays from like the UK and stuff, the cases are fatter, so they take up a little more room. And I really believe this movie will get a Paramount Presents release in the next like 6 months. I really do believe that. This movie needs a physical Blu-ray release. It never came to Blu-ray, only DVD. And this I had seen before, but this was the last of the Leo movies I wanted to revisit. And that is What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp, and probably one of my favorite Johnny Depp movies, this and Blow, probably at the top of my Johnny Depp list. Also, Juliette Lewis is in the movie, John C. Reilly, Mary Steenburgen, Crispin Glover is in the film as well, and just a very well done film. It talks about a family. Johnny Depp plays Gilbert Grape. Leonardo DiCaprio plays his brother Arnie, who is mentally impaired, and his mother, you can see on the back of this picture, his mother is extremely obese. She used to be like a model, and when her husband died, she gained a bunch of weight. She never left the house. He had 2 sisters as well. They all lived together. And Juliette Lewis is an out-of-town girl who comes to visit that, you know, Gilbert Grape's into. But the movie is funny. It is heartbreaking. All the emotions come out watching this movie, and it's just well done. Great performances from everybody. Leonardo DiCaprio, amazing in this movie. Johnny Depp is fantastic in the role. Just a very, very well done movie. One of Leo's first films like this, and Critters 3 I think he's in, and This Boy's Life, all very early in his filmography. You know, you'll cry in this movie, you'll laugh in this movie, you'll smile. It hits all the emotional beats, and it's a heart-wrenching story at times, but overall just incredibly well done. What's Eating Gilbert Grape gets a 4.5 out of 5 for me. I highly recommend this film if you have not seen it. Like I said, I'm willing this. It's gonna come to Paramount Presents, guys. I can feel it. You get the awesome, the slipcover and everything to Blu-ray, a great transfer. Even though the DVD didn't look half bad, it actually did not look bad for a DVD. Sometimes you watch a DVD and the quality is brutal. Like I remember watching Romy and Michelle with Bridget. It was horrible to look at. So as soon as I could get the Blu-ray for that to get rid of the DVD. But this DVD doesn't look half bad. I would rather have it on Blu-ray personally, but the DVD suffices until then. And then last but not least, this was fun because this is a movie that RJ wanted to watch. And I have not revisited this since seeing it in the movies where I highly enjoyed it. And apparently, I don't know what's going on with this movie. My younger sister, Sarah, is obsessed with this movie right now. RJ really enjoyed it. He actually started a Letterboxd, which I have mentioned in occasional videos. So go to letterboxd.com/down-to-movie-mini and follow RJ's Letterboxd. And he wanted to watch this, and I wanted to revisit it. My mom and sister were here from Florida and came over for a movie night with RJ and I, and we watched Knives Out on 4K, this being the 4K steelbook of it. So I really enjoyed this movie the first time I saw it. I think Daniel Craig is great in the movie as, was it Benoit Blanc? Yeah, Benoit Blanc, Detective Benoit Blanc. So the cast is phenomenal. So many great performances. Chris Evans, Daniel Craig, Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson, just so many fun performances. I am incredibly excited for the sequel. Another cast out of this world. The couple names that jump to the top of my head are Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, but so many other fun names are involved. Catherine Hahn's in it as well. Daniel Craig will be back. I'm incredibly intrigued. They've announced the second and third exclusive to Netflix. So 4 out of 5 for me. And Knives Out is a very fun movie. Definitely one I recommend. I'm very excited about the sequels. RJ really enjoyed this as well. It's probably one of the first times RJ and I have agreed on a rating. I think he gave it a 4.5. So he's young. He's 11. So you got to bear with him when he rates stuff like Back to the Future, like a 2. So he's a kid. He doesn't know any better. Knives Out. Check it out if you haven't. Highly recommend it. The steelbook has an amazing bonus thing where if you take the slipcover and you reverse it, where they're sitting in the chair, and you put it on the front of the artwork, I'm not going to do it. It might point out who the guilty party in the film was, which I thought was one of the coolest things when I bought this steelbook. A very cool feature in my opinion. So Knives Out on 4K, 4 out of 5. And that wraps up the month of July, guys. So 24 movies watched. Obviously there was one week where I only watched 3, but another week where I watched like 8, and so all over the place. But we're going to do the end of the month things. So of course we will start with surprise of the month, and the surprise of the month is the Fear Street trilogy. As I mentioned in my last video, I absolutely love the way the Fear Street trilogy was done. I love that they released the movies week after week, all done by the same director. The cast was intertwined and the stories all connected. Just a very well done, fun idea. I hope we see more in the Fear Street universe. I really do. And just a very fun idea and movies I highly recommend. It's a shame they'll never get like a physical triple feature release. That would be great. I'm sure the company that does bootlegs of Netflix stuff will do it. I will not buy a title from them. I personally don't support that. But to each their own. I know a lot of people don't want to support streaming services. I respect your decision. So, Hot Trash of the Month is, it was a tough one, but it goes to this. No Sudden Move, the brand new Steven Soderbergh movie, which just felt like a mess. Shot very awkwardly with the big fish-eyed lenses. Just a very disappointing film, especially with the cast that was in the movie. A lot of people praised this movie, gave it really high ratings. I thought it was pretty unbearable to watch. Definitely not one I would recommend for people to check out because it's hot trash, everybody. So Hot Trash of the Month, this thing here, go away. And that is it, guys. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoy all my videos or some of them. Yes, so subscribe to the channel if you don't do so already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit the bell notification. And be sure to check out the description box down below where you can find links to my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, where I rate and review all the movies I watch. Email address, P.O. Box, Amazon wishlist, eBay page, and Blu-ray.com profile, everybody. So that is it. Until next time, who's down to movie?